Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 91. This is the What Are We Doing podcast. This is episode 91. And man, besides the fact that it's episode 91 and we're less than 10 away from a freaking 100 episodes of this podcast, dude, we hit 1,000 fucking subscribers. Yes. Hey, what? What reality is this? What world are we living in that my little badge now on YouTube says 1K instead of just, a number? Like, wow. Thank you. 1,000 people. Can you believe 1,000 people hit that beautiful red subscribe button? Now, if you haven't done so already, because according to the analytics, and I'd be looking at the analytics every freaking day, 40% of you watching aren't actually subscribed. So hit the button. Hit the subscribe button, dude. Hit that like button on this episode wherever you're watching. Thank you so much for tuning in again for another episode of this podcast. I mean, 1,000 subscribers. Are you freaking kidding me? It's been such a long freaking journey. I mean, just going all the way back. I mean, like 2008, I think, was like one of my first videos. In 2008, my dad had gotten me a little pocket flip cam thing. And honestly, dude, it was like the greatest item ever of my life. And so it had this big, giant 4 gig flash card that went into it. And man, was I just around the house doing card tricks and filming magic videos and anything I could think of to film or record or do with the camera, I did it. The issue was I didn't have a laptop to edit any of my videos on. And back in like 2008, they weren't necessarily readily accessible. Like the family home computer still wasn't up to par with like video editing and software. I think at the time we might have had a little like 7-inch netbook. They were things called netbooks before everyone just had a tablet that had email on it. You had a netbook that was the size of a tablet, but it just had a keyboard attached and it closed like a laptop. It was a wave for like a 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years that, of course, Jeff had to hop on because it was half the price of a regular computer, which meant he could get it super cheap. So we didn't have the equipment at home for me to edit these videos that I was filming, so I knew I had to take it into my own hands. So at 15 years old, I had to get a job. Now, where we lived, the minimum age was 16. So we sweet-talked the manager at the local Subway because the owner's daughter played soccer with my sister, okay? And the one time they were playing a few weeks ago, my sister set up a goal for her. Her daughter made it in. She was the MVP. She owed us a favor. She got me in at 15. So at 15 years old, I was working at Subway making $6.25 an hour. I made $6.25 an hour. And when I asked the boss, I was like, yo, it'd be really cool if I could make, like $7 an hour. She said, hey, pump the brakes. We'll see. And so I started out at 6, and boy, was I ecstatic with that 6. So I slaved away for like 2 to 3 or 4 weeks, got some paychecks in, got some money under the belt, bought a few things with my first paycheck. You know how teenagers do. And then eventually I saved up $500. I knew my budget was $500. And the issue was, at the time, the laptop industry was goodish. But the issue was any major retailers like Walmart, Target, Circuit City, Best Buy, Radio Shack, the laptops they were selling, maximum, were 512 megabytes of RAM. Like, to put that into perspective, the iPhone you're watching this on has 8 gigs of RAM in it, which is like 16 times the amount of RAM that this laptop had. So, the selfie that you just posted on Instagram is 512 megabytes. So that's how much data that we had to work with on these laptops. Now, to my surprise, just a mere 48 hours of my young teenage research after I'm about to have to settle on 512 gigs, 512 megabytes of RAM, like 100 gig hard drive, if that. It might have been 80 gigs at the time, and whatever else, Radio Shack had in stock or Circuit City that week, I was going to have to settle for one of those. But nonetheless, a miracle happens. And I'll tell you what, if you can guess it, honestly, I'll give you a clue. Here's a clue. It was not one of the stores I have already mentioned in this episode. If you can guess what store I purchased my first laptop from, I'll send you a t-shirt, whatever, and I'll know if you fast forward and didn't guess appropriately and you're lying, and then I won't send you anything. And if you know already, I'll know you know, so comment anyways just to boost the algorithm. We have 1,000 subscribers now. We need to interact with one another. Let's go. You know what I mean? So, the weekly flyers in the mail come, all the ads, the Sunday paper, the whatever, what's on sale this week. And everyone knows my father, cheapo, sweepo. We didn't buy the baggies with the zips, dude. We bought the baggies that folded over because the zips cost 40 cents more per box. Okay? You understand where we're at mentally here? That's where we're at. So, the flyers come in the mail, and of course we have to do our weekly grocery shopping. And because of the fact that we buy the baggies that fold over, we have to do our weekly grocery shopping at multiple grocery stores, depending on what's on sale, what we have coupons for, and what is readily available that we can get that week. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're buying it all at one place. Sometimes we're going to 3 or 4 different stores. And what flyer comes across our kitchen counter other than my father's favorite grocery store at the time, because everything was literally 40% the cost of every other grocery store? Aldi's. And we all know Aldi's. We love Aldi's. Aldi's is still here. It fascinates me that back in the day in 2008, Aldi's used to be like, like the cheap discount store. And now Aldi's / Trader Joe's is like the trendy, we go there if we have the money kind of store. It's funny how it flipped a little bit, kind of. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. Aldi's just seems more trendy now to go to. Like, it's like, you either go to grocery outlet, bargain market, and Walmart, or you go to Target and Aldi's and Trader Joe's and maybe Wegmans. I don't know. Like, there's a distinct difference between the cheap grocery stores. Let me know in the comments. I think I'm right on that. I might be wrong, but if I'm right, let me know. So my father would go to Aldi's, and wouldn't you know it, in that flyer that week, there it is. A 15-inch screen, full keyboard, 1 gig of RAM laptop. Aldi's, the grocery store, is pulling out all the frickin' stops. Aldi's, the grocery store, is where I'm about to go spend my first paycheck as a teenager. $500, $499.99. We called them. They had 3 in stock. We were there in 20 minutes. My dad said, "Bet, son, you got the money. Let's go." He wasn't spending $500 on a laptop, but I was. So I went to Aldi's, the grocery store, and I got me, it's this off-brand Aldi's. I'll try to find a photo of it. I think, honestly, they might have thrown it away in the move, but I think Sandy Dunkel might still have that laptop at her house. My mom might still have that laptop, and if she does, I'll try to get it back. And so, dude, I mean, it had like the round plug for the charger. It had USBs on both sides. It had VGA. I think it might have even had an HDMI port. I might be lying about that, but if it didn't, it had everything else it needed with a full gig of RAM. We're talking twice as fast as the industry standard at the time. And man, was I ecstatic because I finally had a machine that I could put all of my videos on and start doing stuff with it. So I immediately got that baby loaded up and I immediately booted up Windows Movie Maker. If you know, you know. You're not a real YouTuber, you're not a real video editor unless you started making movies, videos, music, whatever it is, on Windows Movie Maker. Now, you possibly, if your parents were a little rich and your first laptop was your, parents' old MacBook Pro or Apple device, you might be editing on iMovie, same thing, but I would say roughly 90 to 99% of us started on Movie Maker. So I learned the ins and outs. I figured out how to get like the pro level transitions. I figured out how to get the green screens on like the very first edition of Movie Maker when like they didn't even have Chroma extensions for Movie Maker, but I found like a bootleg third-party developer add-on for it. I was doing all sorts of editing. It was a blast. And so then it was 2008. A thing called YouTube came along and we uploaded our first video. And since then, we've been after this goal. We've been after this goal of at least, 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 people to actually maybe even watch the channel. In the last 30 days, not only did we gain our 1,000 subscribers, but our YouTube channel gained, I think, close to roughly around 150,000 views. So thank you guys again. So we get the laptop, we get the camera, we get the first video edited, and boy, oh boy, my magic career is about to take off. And I don't think I've ever shown this to really anybody but the 127 people on the internet who's actually ever seen it. I believe at least anywhere from 30 to maybe, 100 of these views, anywhere from 30 to 100 of these views are probably just me, my mom, my family, and then me showing other people either on their phones or my own device. This video, I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I mean, this video kicked off our YouTube career and the channel that it sits on. It's now our gaming YouTube channel. You can watch all of our past Twitch streams on there. The magic videos, unfortunately, have since been taken down. If there is a demand for more, maybe I'll just release like a playlist with all the magic videos on it. If you actually want to watch them ever again, let me know in the comments. It's fine. I'll show them to you, dude. But this is the back half of one of my very first YouTube videos where I'm doing, honestly, to this day, maybe one of the best magic tricks. This was no editing, no camera editing, no like After Effects, no editing here. This was all one shot. I swear on the $20,000 Frenchie snoring under this desk life. I swear on Lou Bug's life, this was literally all one shot. And I'm actually, honestly, it's a banging video and it should have gotten 127,000 instead of just 127 views. Check it out. Let's watch it. In celebration of 1,000 subscribers, we're going all the way back. Here is my very first YouTube video. Wow. Above that concrete. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna blow your mind. And you know what? This one's for you, Mom, because you say nothing is possible. All this stuff I do is fake. By the way, how annoying is my voice? How annoying is the voice? I mean, you're all correct. Like I have a voice mod plugin installed on on the computer here. So soon I'll have like a George Clooney sounding voice for the podcast. So shout out to James or whatever, or whoever commented, Joe or Jack or Jill or Jeffrey or whoever, the 19 of you who say I need a voice changer. I'm working on getting one. So we'll have my voice change. But I mean, this was like straight out of puberty. I mean, I told you, listen, here's the issue. For those of you who are new and are going to comment on the video, there was a helium incident. My neighbor, God, I haven't talked about this on the podcast, I don't think either. My neighbor was the leader of the township. Like, she was the organizer. She was like the township coordinator, whatever, growing up when I was like, 13, 14, 15. And so what that meant was we got access to like the township carnivals, like the little carnivals they put on with the dunk tanks and the games and the things and the balloons and the stuff. And with balloons equals helium tanks. And with helium tanks equals access with me as a teenager to do whatever I want that day. So that day, unfortunately, I ingested about 1.5 gallons. We project anywhere from 1.5 gallons to 3 gallons of heliums. Like, those big punch-em balloons, I found those at the carnival and filled those up and ingested like 3 or 4 of those. So I was not only high at the carnival, but I was halfway through puberty at the time, so it stunted my vocal cords to the point where that's how my voice sound. And now between ages of 15 and 32, 19 surgeries later, what you're hearing on this podcast is the best that the doctors can do for me. So we're working on a voice modifier here for the Rodecaster. Hopefully, once we get that installed, it'll sound more like Brad Pitt or like Matt Damon. Maybe we'll go George Clooney. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what we'll do? I wanted Snoop Dogg. They said I couldn't do it. It's fine. So, to the voice. So, but also, dude, talk about how crazy this trick is. First of all, like, let's go back a second. I'm moving rocks off of a tarp. So there were like fucking rocks. Like, we had these huge rocks just in the grass, whatever, because we're in the woods. It's fine. Like, we just had rocks. So I had the rocks on top of the tarp to show that there was nothing under the tarp. There was nothing under it. Like, so then we go and what? Just like I was the shit, bro. Lift the tarp. I'm gonna lift it up. We're gonna lift it up. And we're just gonna pull them out of the ground. We're gonna pull them. Right out of the car.
Amazing. That is crazy stuff.
My father, everybody. The only contribution my father has ever given to any career path I've ever had. There he is. He was the cameraman for my very first magic video. I mean, pulling someone out of a concrete driveway is difficult and one of the most easiest things I've ever done all at the same time. I'll explain it at a later date. So that was my first YouTube video. We uploaded that for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure we filmed it. Yeah, we filmed it in like 2008. But for whatever reason, my YouTube upload has it at January of 2011. So it's been a crazy. So then, of course, the YouTube journey continues and we start vlogging because, of course, NiceStat gets big. So, of course, trying to do a daily vlog, which quickly after 4 or 5 or 6 days, everyone knows turns into a weekly vlog or a bi-daily or something that isn't every day. I did try the daily vlog. What did I get to? I think I might have gotten today. I'll have to look it up. There'll be a thing on the screen to what day I got to, but I think maybe my prediction is I think I might have gotten to like day 45. Maybe not even that far. I think I'm giving myself too much credit. I don't think I even made it that far. But, man, so we tried vlogging. We tried just making like, the random one-off videos and we learned a lot. Like if you put Walmart in your title, it's like an instant 300 views. Like Walmart is just that one keyword. Same thing with, Same thing with Zaddy Trumpets, which, pretty much just takes us into the Trump news of the week. Listen, Trump got us to 1,000 subs. Okay, there's no coincidence that we hit 1,000 subscribers, and also our clip from 2 weeks ago of Zaddy Trumpets took off up to about, 12,000. I think a little close to 13,000 views. So there's no coincidence that every time we talk about Donald Trump on this podcast, Trump, we get that many more subscribers. So we're going to keep talking about Trump. We're probably going to give Trump a segment on the podcast, not because we support him, not because we believe in him politically, not because we understand or believe in his views, not because I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat either. I don't know anything about politics. I'm just a naive millennial who doesn't have any original views or original takes on anything ever in the universe of history of time. It's not me. But when I talk about Donald Trump, it gets me the numbers I like to see in the analytics. So, what did he do this week? What did Trump do this week? Oh, yeah, the thing. He completely stole the spotlight from DeSantis. So everyone knew this week the news all over Twitter was DeSantis is now, of course, running for 2024 presidential election. DeSantis, the governor or whatever, mayor of Flavortown of Florida, I don't know. He does something down in Florida and he pisses Disney off every other day. DeSantis is the one who runs Florida, and so he's running against Donald Trump. And since we knew that this was happening, everyone's known that this was happening for the last month or two, even beyond that probably, right? So we knew it was happening, and it basically has just become funny because he's essentially going up against Donald Trump directly. And so when you ask yourself, who do you want? Ron DeSantis, who wants to build a prison on top of Disney World and is boring and doesn't really do anything. I don't know. What does he do? Does he do anything? I don't think he does anything. He doesn't do anything. Or Zaddy Trumpets. Who are you going to vote for? Who do you want as the primary? In the election, we're all voting for Zaddy Trumpets. No one's voting for fucking Ron DeSantis, or however you pronounce the damn name. So Ron's grandmaster plan and Elon's inevitable plan to take over the world, and of course, turn Twitter into whatever he wants it to be. Elon decided it would be an amazing, viral, multi-million-dollar idea that in the end didn't really work. To have a Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk and Ron DeSantis, and they're just going to be chilling and hanging out and having a good time and not talking about anything important at all. And then, boom, surprise, Ron's going to announce his presidential run for next year. And so, of course, the news broke. Everyone knew, blah, 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 blah. We all knew it was happening before it was happening. And so what better way to completely steal the thunder of the train wreck of what it was, by the way. Elon couldn't get the stream started. It crashed halfway through. Everyone had audio problems. It wasn't working. Because when Elon took over 6 months ago, he deleted half of the code you needed to run Spaces anyways. And so, they didn't have any developers there to fix it because he fired them all. And it was just a freaking train wreck of what it was. And once they finally got it working, it didn't take much longer after that for Trumpet's post on True Social to go stupid viral on Twitter. Whereas, listen, AI is here. And AI is sticking around. If you haven't realized by now that your job is kind of almost sort of replaceable, if not your entire business, by AI, you're a little naive. Let's get with the program here. AI is here. And we're using it now in politics and presidential campaigns to the point where Donald Trump is literally making fake Twitter Space videos about the DeSantis announcement with, other political figures, other fictional figures, other people of history. And it's kind of, honestly, one of the most hilarious plays in history. It's hilarious. If you don't think this is funny, What are we doing?
To our Ron DeSantis Twitter space.
Hello? Is my microphone working correctly?
George, can you just wait while we...
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can all hear you, George. Can you just hold on for a second?
Hilfa, I don't think they can hear me.
I can hear you fine, George. Just speak to the
I don't think George
microphone.
knows how to use Twitter.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Can I please make my big announcement now? Everyone just...
Hello?
Just shut up, George.
Can somebody just mute George?
The devil is speaking.
Could you try not to cough on the...
Okay, so how are we going to take out Trump, you guys?
Guys from the FBI, this is not a private call. This is a public Twitter space. Everyone can listen in.
God damn it.
Okay, so like these are the types of things that Donald Trump is now posting, and I guarantee you will continue to post. The clip goes on, he shows up at the end and says, you know, vote for Trump, truesocial.com, whatever, it's a whole plug. But it's the most insane move that we've ever freaking seen. There's no way. Was Obama posting memes? Was freaking George Bush posting memes? Has any president ever, when did it become, I think was Donald Trump the first president to ever post a meme? Like, let's find that out. Like, I mean, we need, oh man, the Zaddy Trumpets news of the week, stealing the spotlight from Ron DeSantis is, it's a fun time. It's a fun time for everybody. And I think honestly, we're gonna see a lot more of this, and I can't wait. Trump's numbers are through the fucking roof. His numbers are through the roof, and there's no, listen, if you ask anyone, unfortunately, it's not looking good. You know what I mean? For anyone else. So there's your Trump news of the week. The whales are coordinating and they're attacking our ships. Okay, so here's what happened. After Jeff Bezos got done raving at Coachella with his butterfly button-up shirt, he got on his $50 billion yacht with his 19-year-old girlfriend and 27,000 of their other friends. And while they were streamlining through the Pacific Ocean, they hit and ran into a killer whale, like Free Willy, like, the orca whale. They hit it with the yacht. And so I don't know if you know what happens when you hit an orca killer whale with a mega yacht. They get a little pissy. And so what happened was, and this is so true, I'm so glad we found this article. Orcas have sunk 3 boats, and it appears that they are teaching others to do the same, and here's why. I'm telling you, we don't make shit up on this podcast anymore. This is what's going on in the world. You guys need to know and be informed. Okay? You thought we were going to come on here and talk about all that other stuff that's happening? No. We're going to talk about the killer whales. Okay? The article goes on to say, orcas have attacked and sunk a 3rd boat off the coast, and experts now believe the behavior is being copied by the rest of the population. 3 orcas, also known as killer whales, yes, struck the yacht on the night of May 4th off the coast of Spain and pierced the it's some German. It's, they put these words in these articles, and from time and time again, I tell everybody I can't read. What we need to do is we need to start rewriting these articles with a 2nd grade reading level, because it's fine. So what the article is saying is that, these orcas are sinking the ships. That's basically what the introduction is. So that happened. They sunk 1 ship. Then 2 days earlier, a pod of 6 killer whales assembled and sunk another boat. So reports of the aggressions of the orcas are coming in left and right, and it began in May of 2020, and now in 2022, we have realized that these attacks are organized. The orca whale attacks are organized, and I mean, honestly, this is what they're saying. Experts suspect that the female orca that they are calling White Gladys. So White Gladys is who Jeff Bezos hit. So after Coachella, Jeff Bezos got on the yacht and unfortunately crossed paths with White Gladys, banged her up real bad with his yacht, And now White Gladys has flipped a switch of behavior into panic mode. Anytime a luxury yacht comes near her, she has fucking PTSD, PSD, whatever the fuck, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah, I said that right. She has post-traumatic stress syndrome. And so she's now, every time she sees a mega yacht that a billionaire is on, she sees red and she wants to just breach the water and sink that motherfucker. Okay? And so what's happening now is White Gladys has assembled her team of orcas, and she's got about 5 to 10 strong ride or die killer whales on her side. She's like, listen, these rich billionaire people from the coast, they're coming into our waters and they're bumping into us and we don't like it. So what do? We sink their boats. What are they going to do? Buy another boat? You know what I mean? They could hardly afford this one. They're not going to get another boat if a gang of orcas just sunk it, because we'll be watching, okay? So White Gladys got herself a squad of like 5 to 10 humpback killer whales. They're not humpback whales. Jesus Christ, stop saying humpback. They're freaking killer orca whales, okay? Free Willy. Freaking White Gladys and Willie are teaming up now, and now they've got a squad. And so those 5 people, it's kind of like Mary Kay. It's like my mom trying to get the Cadillac. Instead of the Cadillac, we're going after the billionaire's yachts. So those 5 orcas got 5 of their orca friends each to start getting the boats over on their coast. And then those 5 orca friends each got 5 more orca friends to get their orca friends over on the west coast to sink those billionaire yachts. And then those 5 orca friends got 25 more orca friends, and now White Gladys essentially has a gang of 1,000 subscribers within her network, and she's sinking billionaire yachts from coast to coast, from Spain, California. They're all over the place. And so, I mean, that's what she's saying. They're thinking that either White Gladys either had a collision with a boat, or she was caught in an entrapment during an illegal fishing, expedition, whatever, over they kill them over there and they sell them on like they sell their flippers for like $5,000. It's crazy. It's like, the slowpoke tail in Pokemon kind of thing. So something happened. Either the illegal fishermen's got a hold of White Gladys and she got away, or Jeff Bezos hit her with her yacht. And now she's got a freaking flip. It says it flipped a behavioral switch and traumatized the orca, and that started this behavior, physical contact with boats, they said. So, I mean, it's crazy. So now what's happening now is that the news is spreading through the orca community, and pretty soon it's going to become pretty freaking dangerous to take your boat out into the ocean, because if a killer orca whale sees it, it's going to be natural instinct. They're going to be like, oh, bet, I want to do it. It's kind of like, it's kind of like just how, humans do trends too. Like everyone on TikTok's like, oh, you're walking up milk crates? I want to walk up a milk crate. And then boom, you walk up a milk crate and you break your arm. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. And so one orca was like, yo, I want to sing a boat. Why don't I sing a boat? I could sing a boat. I see boats all the time. I don't know what to do with them. They take pictures, they wave, they cheer at me. They're like, yo, a whale. And then this one time I saw a boat and they weren't really cheering. They were just kind of throwing like spears at me and I had to dodge them. I got one spear in my left side. It hurt. But you know what? I swam away, got the spear. I was fine. And then the next boat I saw again, they were cheering. It's these bipolar freaking humans. I don't know what to do. And so you're telling me I should just sink the boat? Bet. So we're all going to squad up. 6 or 7 orcas are going to come and they're going to sink your boat. I might never get on a boat again. I'm already skeptical about boats. I don't know how they float. Hey, when you put a whole water park, amusement park, 19,000 families equaling 200,000 people, staff, food, weight, boilers, engine, equipment, pools, water, showers, beds, mattresses, nothing else. I don't even know what else goes on the ship. When you put all that shit on a cruise ship, how is it in the water? When you put all the shit on a cruise ship, how does it stay in the water? I don't understand it. I don't understand how boats stay in the water as it is, let alone with a fucking slip and slide on it and a zip line. Like, we've got cruise ships out here with like whole Disney theme parks on top, and they're just in the water. But the Titanic sunk. I don't know, bro. It's a little weird to me. I'm already skeptical of boat behavior. So now that the orcas are taking them down, I'm definitely not going. Megs and I watched a whole documentary on cruise ships on Amazon a year or two back, and like one crate of bananas was rotten. Everything else was fine. All the passengers were there. All the employees showed up to work that day. The water pressure was great. The boat was gassed up. The captain was ready to go. No one was hungover from the night before. Everything was all hands on deck. Green check marks. Let's go. Let's bounce out of this bitch and start the cruise. But one fucking box of bananas was rotten, and apparently that'll throw off the whole thing. And if one box of bananas is rotten, that means the engine's gonna blow, and that means there's definitely gonna be a salmonella outbreak in cabin 413, which means the rest of the cruise ship is gonna be sick, quarantined, and probably gonna have to turn right back around to port 3 days into their venture because there's nothing they can do about it. And so they had to figure out what the fuck they were going to do. And apparently you can't just go to Walmart and buy a bundle of, bananas like they do at the Olive Garden when they run out of breadsticks and salad dressing. You can't just hop over to Walmart, get it, and hope the customers won't notice. It's fine. It's true. But unfortunately, they got the bananas and they were on their way to the cruise. Like, that's how delicate cruises are. So we're probably not going, let alone now the attack on the boats via the orca whales. I mean, it doesn't stop. The nonsense doesn't stop. Hey, guess what? Someone else just posted another clip the other day of a crocodile shark attack. Someone else posted, as if we've never heard of it before, a crocodile shark encounter in the ocean. Where were you? What was that, episode 45? What was that, episode 46? Right? Crocodiles and sharks have been going at it for millions of years. If you know, you know. Google it. I know I'm right about it. They've been going at it for millions of years, and now things are happening in the ecosystem, global warming, whatever. I don't know what it is, but the crocodiles and alligators are getting a little frisky, and they're getting adapted to a little bit of taste of that salt water, and they're realizing we can go out for 30, go in for 30, go out for 30, go in for 30, and pretty soon that 30 minutes is going to seem like 45, and that 45 is going to turn into 60, and that's just enough to get a chunk out of a great white shark. I'm telling you, someone just posted about it again yesterday. Another instance happened, and they're treating it like it's the first one, and I've been talking about it for years. I'm waiting. The whole mega shark versus giant, crocodile movie, that whole movie that everyone thinks is fake, it's real life. It's real life. It's real life. It reminds me, dude, it reminds me of this scene. I love it. It reminds me of this scene so much. The crocodiles, the whales, the orcas adapting to the humans and the boats with the feet. It reminds me of this scene right here.
I don't like you. I think you're a fake cop. The sound of your piss hitting the urinal, it sounds feminine. Mm-hmm. If we were in the wild.
Also, by the way, I've gotten comments like that on this YouTube channel. My road to 1,000 subscribers has also been a road through, your voice sounds weird, your voice sounds dumb, ew, change your voice. And honestly, I've gotten this comment 16 times already. The sound of my piss hitting the urinal is feminine. I've heard that. I've been at events, I've been working, I've been in public, I've been at a bar with friends, I've been out, whatever. People have told me the sound of my piss hitting the urinal is feminine. And I think they knew, apparently based on my voice, they've known it. I'm just saying it's hilarious. You know what I mean? This is the society that we live in.
Wild? I would attack you. Even if you weren't in my food chain, I would go out of my way to attack you. If I were a lion and you were a tuna, I would swim out in the middle of the ocean and freaking eat you. And then I'd bang your tuna girlfriend.
Love it.
Okay, first off, a lion swimming in the ocean? Lions don't like water. If you'd placed it near a river or some sort of fresh water source, that makes sense. But you find yourself in the ocean, 20-foot waves, I'm assuming it's off the coast of South Africa, coming up against a full-grown 800-pound tuna with his 20 or 30 friends, you lose that battle You lose that battle 9 times out of 10.
You know what I mean? It's like the orcas are orchestrating. The orcas are orchestrating against the billionaires, and it's crazy. What's insane to me, dude, is that this American Idol Just Sam winner, American Idol 2020 winner Just Sam, says she's back singing in the New York subway systems. I was super embarrassed. So back in 2020, I guess for whatever reason, we're locked up in COVID, everyone thought it would be a great idea to still do American Idol. And that was after they already greenlit season, 46 that we're on. Someone at the studio still thinks it's a great idea to still do American Idol. Apparently apparently Katy Perry still pulls in the numbers. And I mean, why wouldn't she? When she dresses up in a clown costume with her tits out every week, of course everyone's going to watch. I haven't watched since Kelly Clarkson. What was that, season 2? Maybe? I don't know. It's crazy, dude. And so I looked it up. American Idol winners, listen to this. American Idol winners still, for as long as we can remember, American Idol winners, especially and during this season, you get $250,000 cash. So after taxes, I'm sure it's like $100,000. You get $100,000 and you get a recording contract with a recording studio. And so here we are 3 years later after Just Sam wins American Idol. She gets her money. She gets her recording contract. I haven't heard any songs from Just Sam. I'm sure if you're a fan of Just Sam, you have, and you can roast me in the comments, but I'm willing to guess that most people watching this clip right now have probably never heard of Just Sam or can name at least 1 to maybe 3 to 5 songs of hers. I don't know any. And so apparently this is how she got her start, right? Sam started singing in the subways of New York City because that's how you make your rent in New York. You're either one of the furry people who run around and get selfies in a Dirty Elmo costume for $5, or you're a singer in the subway. And if you're really good, people will leave you tips, and that's fine. And that's how you make your living, and that's perfect. I love it. I give those people tips because you're providing me with entertainment. I give you something in return. If you're just standing there with a sign that says you need the money, I most likely might not give you any, but if you're giving me something like a nice serenading song of music, I'll slip you a little something in the box. So she gets it. So she's singing in the subways, and the acoustics down there are pretty excellent. So she starts out singing in the subways, and then, of course, I'm sure a producer or someone said, you need to go to American Idol. And of course, American Idol auditions happen in New York City, so they were probably just right down the street of where Just Sam was living at the time. So she goes and auditions and inevitably wins the show. Now, with $100,000 in her pocket and a recording studio, a recording album, whatever record label, let's go, let's record, let's be famous. No one's ever heard of her. And now, just even a year later, she's back singing in the subways. I mean, it goes on and on. Last month, the musician began sharing videos of herself singing in the subway stations on Instagram and recently opened up about her journey since winning the hit competition series. Noting that she was super embarrassed and let her fans know that she's back to grinding. Got an itch there, hold on. Alongside of a clip of herself singing Ariana Grande's Almost Is Never Enough in a subway station, the 24-year-old explained her situation on May 1st in a since-deleted caption. Back in 2021, I was super embarrassed to be going back to the trains. I didn't want people to know that I legit needed the money, and I didn't want people to know that it wasn't optional, wrote Diaz on Instagram. So, it seems like the money just kind of runs dry pretty quickly, doesn't it? And what's fascinating to me about this whole thing is They're on like, season 37 of The Voice. They're on like season 46 of American Idol. We're still doing America's Got Talent. There's like a whole nother spinoff of America's Got Talent now. I learned early on. I did America's Got Talent 2 times. The first time was because I was in the height of my career. I was hype. I had views on YouTube. I was doing magic shows left and right. I was filming everything. I was uploading new videos every week. I got accepted to go. I made a whole spectacle out of it. I went, Kodak went, Megs went, my sister went, my parents went. We got the hotel room. We drove through the night. We stood in line. We got the badge stickers. We took the pictures. It's one of my most liked photos ever on Instagram because people thought we were gonna be on TV. Everyone was cheering for me. I got so many DMs. When I posted that picture of Justin and I in line at America's Got Talent, people said, bro, I always believed in you. Bro, you're the best. Bro, you're gonna kill it. Bro, you're famous. Bro, I can't wait. Holy shit, take me with you. Holy shit, you're on America's Got Talent. I believed in you. I've been here since the beginning. All the people came out of the woodwork. I got hundreds of DMs on Facebook. As soon as we posted, we were in that audition line and we were riding the high of New York City. We then went to the city the next day. We filmed magic videos in the Apple store. It's one of my most viewed videos. We filmed a magic video at the pub we went to. We filmed a magic video in Soho. We walked around. We fucking took over that weekend. At least in our minds, we did. We filmed a lot. We did America's Got Talent. And unfortunately, 9 months later, they told us that we didn't make it and we won't be appearing on the show. We never even got close. So the way all of these shows work are you have to audition at either a rundown college, a warehouse, whatever building these people rent out, whatever the cheapest is in the town that they need to go. Sometimes it's a car dealership. Sometimes it's an old college campus. Sometimes it's a school. Sometimes it's a stadium. Who knows? And then you go and perform in front of what they call producers, but they're just 20-something-year-olds who are working for $15 an hour, and they're there to find the best of the freaking best. And they need to go back with one name. So the 100 people that they see every day and all day that do their talents, they're literally pulling one name out of all of them and going back to the network with that name. And there's probably about, I don't know, a few hundred of them. So they're going to get a few hundred names out of all of the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people there doing their magic, their singing, their whatever. And then you never have a chance. The only way you have a chance of actually making it on the show is if you're JoJo Siwa, Jimmy Fallon. You have no one, you know the producers, they get you on. You know the people there, they know you, you're viral already, you already have a career, something, they reach out. You have to be a celebrity already to actually get on the TV, essentially. Or there will be those 5 to 10 people who are actually talented, who come from nothing, who have nothing, who have no representation online or in the real world. And those are the people that they can get, like Just Sam, who was singing in the subway of New York City, who have really, not too much going on from a day-to-day basis. They like those people, not people like me with jobs who might not be able to get off work or whatever else. You know what I mean? Like, now I would have certainly given all of it up to be on the TV, of course, and everyone knows that. But, at the time it is what it is. And the unfortunate part about the entire American Idol, Got Talent, reality TV show experience is I know too many kids from, high school, middle school, people I still know, people I've seen recently, people who I still talk to, and people who are still auditioning. I know someone who has auditioned for America's Got Talent, The Voice, every singing competition that has come anywhere near the central Pennsylvania region. They've probably auditioned for these shows, I don't know, 13, 14 times, maybe a little less, maybe a few more auditions, and still have yet to see that stage, those judges, the celebrities, the camera, the lights, the interviews, the green screens, the this, the that, the signing of the waivers, the spotlight, the one-on-one time that you get on TV that night NBC, 8 o'clock. As soon as it comes on, boom, there's your face. None of it. They've experienced none of it because you don't. You have to already have millions and millions, or you have to be the lucky one. And unfortunately, being the lucky one is winning the lottery. And let's be honest, how many scratch-offs have you won $1 million off of? Not too many, let alone $250,000, let alone $1,000. I know a few people, but that's it. It's you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations where you literally have to be singing in the subways to get on and win. And if you do win, there's probably, I don't know, a 50% chance that you won't be back in the subways a year later. So it's crazy to me that these shows still exist. I mean, honestly, the format now is The Masked Singer. Put celebrities in goofy costumes. That's what people want to watch. That's going on like season 27 right now, isn't it? I don't watch it, but apparently the rest of America does. And you know what America doesn't watch? The music videos of the winners of America's Got Talent, clearly. So, I am making music, said the performer last year per Just Jared, which is an online publication, I guess. I just cannot afford to release music because mixing and mastering music cost a lot of money. And I invested in myself and ended up broke. That's the truth. Not broke, like I'm living. I have my own place. At the time, she revealed that she had left her label, which signed her in May of 2020 after she had won Idol, before releasing an album and owed money to the company. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm not even going to tell you guys the amount of money that I had to pay after leaving the label to claim songs I had already recorded. She said, I am recording all the time and making music all the time, writing every day, doing what I love to do to survive. Okay, so it's another record label situation, of course. And it's just the story that we hear over and over and over and over and over again. Everyone wants a record deal. Everyone gets a record deal. And then you realize, oh, you actually have to sell your soul and that you don't own anything and that you need to actually pay the record label all of the money back that they give you. So when the record label says, hey, here's $250,000 for your record deal, bet. Don't spend it all in one place because actually we're going to need it back from your tour, your merch, your record sales, your album drops, everything else. But when you leave the record label prematurely, it's unfortunate. They're going to need all that money back. So that seems to be the situation here. You know who doesn't need to give their money back? The people of the subway. So now that's where she's at. And it's unfortunate that's where the society of American Idol has taken us. I think the only gem out of the whole show that we've gotten has been Kelly Clarkson. She had a semi-successful music career. And now what have we got? The Kelly Clarkson show. We needed an Ellen DeGeneres replacement after she literally physically abused half of her staff. We need to mentally the other half. We need someone to replace her. So why not give Kelly Clarkson her own reality daytime TV show and call it a day? Call it a day. Kelly Clarkson, she's done with the singing thing. You know what I mean? She's given that up. Because it's proven from time to time again that American Idol winners, I'm sure you could probably go on to give me a few other instances where people won American Idol, but that's just what happens. When you win the season of American Idol in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, you've got about a year. And if you don't figure it out in a year, you're going to be back to the subways. And that's the sad truth. Unfortunately, it's a sad truth of American Idol. And honestly, dude, to wrap up this podcast episode, some news that should have been straight out of my hometown, but hasn't been. A man from Kentucky has been arrested after shooting his roommate during a fight about eating the last Hot Pocket. Okay. Now, before we even jump into the article, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this before, but just imagine you have that box of either, your classic ham and cheese, your classic pepperoni pizza, or if you're a little fancy like me, you like to get sometimes the Philly cheesesteak. Sometimes I like to get the meatball sub Hot Pockets. And guess what? There's only ever 2 in the box unless you get the mega family pack. And daddy's not balling like that this time of year, so I've got the normal box. I eat one. I'm looking forward to my other meatball Hot Pocket immediately the next day. And if I find out someone ate my Hot Pocket while I was up here working, reporting a podcast, just hanging out, doing whatever, at a wedding, at an event, hanging out with my son, and someone's out munching on one of my Hot Pockets, my last Hot Pocket, I'm going down to Walmart, I'm giving him a piece of fake paper, and I'm getting a gun without a license, okay? Because that's just what you can do now in America. And so I'm getting a gun, and I'm shooting whoever ate the last Hot Pocket. A man in Louisiana, Kentucky is facing assault charges after shooting his roommate in the ass. Oh shit, he shot him in the ass. That's even better, dude. You know why? Because you'll most likely give him erectile issues, and then he won't be able to get a freaking erection for the rest of his life. And he'll have to remember, he ate the last ham and cheese Hot Pocket. Bam, now you've got dick problems. And what better way to solve your dick problems than going to wadpod.com/blue. That's WAWDPOD.com/blue, BLUE. You're going to get your first order of Bluechew for free, and you're only going to pay $5 shipping. That's right. Your first order's free, $5 only for shipping. It's essentially free for the whole thing. I know you got $5. Go to wadpod.com/blue, pop 1, pop 2, 30, 40 minutes before you're ready to have the time of your life, and then show your girl or guy a great time. Okay? Go to wadpod.com/blue. Listen, did you just go to Target and get your Pride merch because they're taking it off the shelves because people are babies and can't fucking handle it, and we've got a fucking riot, and so Target employees are now getting threatened? Their lives, the employees of the Target store's lives are being threatened. And so we can't have the merch at the Target stores anymore. So instead, we have to pull it all from the shelves in an official Target message. And of course, Target has to come out, the same way Bud Light did to show their support for the LGBTQ community, AQ+ community. And of course, Target stands with them. We've been selling the fucking merch for 10 years, people. We've been selling the same fucking Pride merch for 10 years at Target, and it's time to grow up. Yeah, listen, do we want to include the transgenders? Of course we do. Okay, did they not need to put the label on it? Sure. Did we not need to put it near the kids section? Sure. Did we not need to make kids sizes for it? Maybe. I don't know. It's not my place to speak, but all I know is Pride Month's coming up, baby. And if you haven't done so already, get the Target Pride merch and support the LGBTQ+ community. Please. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? Just, it's a shame. It's a shame that that's what we have to go through. Clifton Williams got angry on Saturday and began throwing tiles. When you just have fucking kitchen tiles lying around and you start fucking chucking them at your roommate. By the way, look how happy this man is. This man is happy to have shot his friend for eating the last Hot Pocket. So he starts throwing kitchen tiles everywhere at his roommate after the roommate had ate the last Hot Pocket, according to the court citation. The roommate said he tried to fight back before telling Williams he was leaving, the citation said. And after the roommate was leaving, Mr. Williams went inside the residence and got a gun. The victim told investigators. William then shot his roommate in the buttocks while he was trying to leave, according to the citation. And the roommate went a few blocks away to get help and has recovered at a nearby hospital. CNN reached out to the attorney of Williams, and he's being held on a $7,500 bond, according to the court document. Spokesperson to the Jefferson Circuit court clerk. His next court appearance is scheduled for Tuesday, according to court documents. I mean, it's just a life lesson learned. It's a life lesson learned. You don't eat your friends' Hot Pockets. And I guess Target, we've got to do something about the labels maybe next year for the Pride section. Hopefully this doesn't, I mean, listen, the stock, I don't know, the Hot Pockets, the Target stock, I don't know how I've intertwined these two stories, but God damn it, if this isn't America, if this isn't what's going on in America today, this isn't the top story in America where I've got to worry about what's going on with Target clothing section and eating Hot Pockets, getting shot for eating a Hot Pocket. I'd rather get shot shopping in the Target section, to be honest with you, than eating a Hot Pocket. How embarrassing. And could you imagine if he died, by the way? Imagine if he died just for eating his friend's Hot Pocket. Earlier this month, Sonic drive-thru employee was allegedly shot and killed by a 12-year-old boy during an argument with another man in the restaurant parking lot, police said in Texas. Wow. Fighting over a chili cheese dog. A 12-year-old child shot and killed another man over a chili cheese dog. This is America. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me here in episode 91. If you haven't done so, go to Target and get your Pride merch. I've got the shirts. I got this at the Bullseye Shop. If you don't know about the Bullseye Shop, it's not what they have in stores. It's completely cheaper and straight from Target.com. So just Google search the Bullseye Shop. You can get a cool Target Pride shirt like this one. This one's in stores, obviously. So go get it. Support the cause. Support the community. Next week kicks off Pride Month. Will be Prideful all month long on this podcast, of course, because we support the community. This has been episode 91, guys. Thank you so much again for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I knew we'd hit it, but at the same time, I was like, holy shit, this might never happen. But we did it, and who knows how quickly or how slowly we'll get to 10,000, but I'll see you there, baby. I'm coming for that freaking plaque. I want that YouTube plaque. If I don't get a subscriber over 10,000, so be it. Well, I need 10,001. I want 10,001, and if I don't get 10,002, so be it. But I want the plaque. Let's make it happen. Let's keep growing the pod. Let's get to episode 100, baby. Check it out. wadpod.com/links is all you need. WAWDPOD/links, LANKS. Everything's there. Or you could do /YouTube, /Spotify, /GoodPods, /Blue, everything you need is down in the description below. Click those links. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on a boat anytime soon, please be on the lookout for the orca whales. They are organizing and taking down more ships. This just in, news on Twitter. They just took down another ship. They just took down another luxury yacht. The orca whales they've now taken down 6 yachts total. So it's crazy out there if you own a yacht. If you got that billionaire mentality, if you saw last week's episode, don't forget to check it out. We were in the car again. It's fine, but now we're back in studio. So check us out on all the social media apps, Facebook, YouTube, everything else is going down there. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok. Our TikTok's blowing up too. Check it out. wadpod.com/YouTube is the place to be. Hit the big, beautiful red subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for another amazing episode. Thank you for rocking with me. Next week's episode 92, and I believe we have a guest coming soon. We have a few guests lined up in the pipeline. I know I always say it, and I always mean it, and they always show up. And so guests are coming soon. Thank you guys so much for another just amazing week. I love you. Peace out. Have a good one. Stay safe, everybody, especially in those department stores. Stay safe. This is the What Are We Doing podcast.